physical scars look like? Oops, that's me. Well, I was a child once, and I'm still my mother's favorite daughter. And I do have a scar. When I was 5 years old, one day, a boy the same age as mine barely sat 2 feet away playing with small cars. Everything was going fine as it should on a play date between a boy and a girl. But as they say, silence is suspicious when children are playing. A few seconds later, he threw the car straight at my face. It hit me on my eyebrow, leaving a scar where hair just refuses to grow. It has become a mark of my identity. I mean, I state it on my national identity card so that people can identify my body with it, God forbid. And most of you have to complain about bad driving license photos. Kids will carry these scars into adulthood and the rest of their lives, unless thanks to the advancement in cosmetic surgery, they can get rid of them permanently. And that is the miracle of science. But my question to you now is, how do children with emotional scars look like? Wait, were you expecting a stereotypical image of a child holding his head between the knees? Or maybe you were expecting a child trying to shut out the world by placing her hands on her ears. Maybe you were expecting a boy in tears, or a girl looking at you with sad, glazed eyes. Well, let me tell you, this picture of the 3 children smiling is from 2014, when they were aged 6, 4, and 2.5. How would you react if I told you that the image was taken exactly 7 days after their father passed away? And how would you react if I told you that these 3 beautiful souls belong to me? My name is Samira Mumtaz. I'm 38 years young, daughter of a single mom, proud mother of 3. These 3 call me Super Mom, and I wear an invisible cape every day. People say, when life throws you lemons, make lemonade. I say, when life throws you lemons, pick them up and throw them back. You were never bound to catch them anyways, and not everyone likes lemonade, do they? Sometimes they can come at you at the size of tennis balls at ball launcher speed. Well, miss some, dodge some. If you're Roger Federer, hit back all and ace them. However, being amateurs at handling life, sometimes the lemons hit us right in the face when we are not looking, when we are not prepared. And for those times, I say, wipe it. Wipe it before it tries to penetrate through your very existence, making you bitter for life. But how does one teach all of this to children? How does one teach children to identify and deal with the lemons in their life? How does one teach them hope, or about closed doors or open doors? Because these are merely words in their significant little world. You see, the 2 binaries of joy and sorrow are at the very heart of human existence, inseparable. These 2 twins, the yin and the yang, the black and the white, the good and the bad, they make up an individual. The very qualities that make us human find their roots in these 2 extremes, even in our childhood. As children, our perception of ourselves, of others, and even our environment changes the way we deal with these 2 extremes. A society can be made more human-centric if the children of that society are shaped into better individuals. And if the environment is child-centric, then we can help them develop into positive human beings, making them more encouraging and productive towards others, thereby making them share the joys and sorrows of others. So, in the face of an adversity, what can a parent do to help their children develop a positive attitude towards life? I was left a widow at 35. Tragic? Yes. Devastating? Unquestionably. Depressing? Without doubt, there is no adjective befitting enough to express the loss of a loved one. I rushed to save my children and tried to seek ways to give them meaning in this seemingly meaningless world. I cried, but I also celebrated. I told them it was okay to miss. I told them it was okay not to. While I had to teach them that just because they did not have a father didn't mean that they could not do what other children were doing, I also had to teach them that just because they did not have a father, they could get away with doing everything under the garb of self-pity. Thank God for faith. Thank God for siblings. And thank God for grandmas, because my children were hugged and cuddled and kissed by strangers and family alike. And like every parent, single or no, I was there for each one of them. Sometimes attending my son's sports day and my daughter's science fair on the same day, for which she actually calls me supermom. I would attend graduation ceremonies, parent-teacher meetings. We were celebrating birthdays, socializing, going out. And I can't forget those horrible vaccinations that make your children cry and the wails get louder and louder and louder as you're dragging them out of the clinic. They were settling back in school and routine. And the teachers were given a heads up on their situation. I was not looking for bad grades, but I was looking for the same signs as you were when I asked you how emotionally bruised children look like. I was looking for silence, I was looking for antisocial behavior, and I was looking for glazed eyes. But I was so wrong, because they were smiling and laughing and being themselves, yet I failed to realize that they were facing a much more practical world out there, a more real world that was deepening their wounds. My then 5-year-old daughter came to me one day and asked, "Mama, do I draw a father now when my teacher asks me to draw a family?" It just killed me. My 10-year-old daughter, at the onset of the summer vacation, came to me and asked, "Mama, will we ever be a family, a happy family again? Will we ever be able to do things together as a family again?" So their sentences and their questions were punctuated with the word family. And at that point, I concluded that my children needed to learn what every child needs to learn about belonging, about loss, about love, and about family. Someone suggested child counseling. Someone suggested increased socializing. Another friend pinpointed spend more time. I was like, oh, they need some space. If I start appearing in their dreams, they won't be dreams anymore. They would be nightmares. So I chose to do what is a nightmare for most parents. I chose to travel with 3 kids. And I'm alive and sane, and I have survived. It was a life-changing experience for all of us. Take me, for instance. When I took up this responsibility, I vowed, nay, I solemnly swore to let go of mothering. Do you know what that means? It means saying bye-bye OCD as you sit and you watch and you cringe as your child plays with sand and dust. It meant saying goodbye to the health freak mommy in me and let my children dip their feet in icy cold water with thermometers and anti-allergies in hand, of course. I was the liberator. I let them sit along the banks of a river. I made them explore the banks of a lake. I made them scale rocks. I even let them roll down hills. And I also made them taste snowflakes, which are tasteless, by the way, just in case you wanted to know. So in their eyes, I had finally established my role as a father and their link to the community and the outside world. But how does traveling develop a better understanding of life in children? The answer could be as simple as taking away the smartphones and gadgets because they keep them away from reality anyways. Trust me, I travel without them and they don't miss them either. It gives me more pleasure when my son comes to me and tells me about the number of horses that he's seen or the snow-capped peaks, or if he remembers the names of the lakes that he's visited rather than tell me about how much he scored on his Nintendo. So the world opens up for them. If you want your children to learn about closed doors and open doors, make them travel. They will learn that road blockages and detours lead to beautiful destinations. Earlier this year, we had planned to visit a lake. It ended up playing along the banks of a river and witnessed a beautiful pink and gray sunset. And it couldn't have been better. If you want to teach them about how diminutive their existence is in this world, make them sit among vast, vast plains or in the company of gigantic mountains. Want to calm the boy in your boy? Take him to a water body and make him stand and stare. It's therapeutic. Make them sit by a river. Make them taste the river and then tell them that the water cupped in their hands comes from the melting snows far, far away, meant for them to drink at that very moment. So make them feel special that way. How about teaching them hope? Make them see flowers and miracles bloom out of the barrenness and wildness. How about life? Take them for a boat ride. Make them feel liberated and exhilarated. And then tell them that water is like time flowing, and their lives are like the wood of the boat, seasoning with time, weathering the storms, yet resilient. Traveling helped them share food, clothes, belongings, even beds. It made them identify the weakness in each other. When my daughter developed motion sickness, her siblings would rush bringing in vomit bags. Or when the same daughter developed a fear of falling while ascending on a trek, her brother, with whom she shares a terrible love-hate relationship, held her hand and encouraged her down the way. In collecting pine cones and leaves and stones, they were making new memories. The list is endless. Traveling brings people close. It brings your children closer. And I strongly believe that there is nothing better than traveling to help develop and strengthen the two ideals of love and family in your children. To quote my 10-year-old daughter, family trips make us realize we can live without others. Trips are fun, and fun makes you forget the bad things. And I asked her, what are those bad things? And she said, having no father and scary dreams. So the effect of these journeys on the children go beyond measure. For now, when I ask them to draw a family, they draw their pet cat too. Inspired by my journeys with my children, especially to the rooftop of the world, the Desai Plains in northern Pakistan, I wrote a prose poem that I would like to share with all of you. If I could bottle up the floral scent of the crisp breeze dancing between blades of grass and beds of flowers, and over the dark flowing waters of the free land, creating soft ripples. If I could bottle up the pollen from the purple flower that sways gently, celebrating its brief existence with the yellows and the blues. If I could bottle up the gold elixir, swelling the belly of the fuzzy bee, laboring in quest to find sweet nectar, perhaps for the Himalayan bear, a conspiracy unknown. If I could bottle up the sweet melody from the whistle of the lazy mermaid basking in the warmth of the yellow sun, or the breath of the wild muscular horse that falls on the very grass it grazes, ever so gracefully, without disturbing the workings of the universe. I would add to it a tinge of the healing blue from the azure sky, silver of the speck of the clean dust. I would steal the white purity of the fluffy cloud, and a little bit of darkness for balance from the protective shadow over the vastness. If I could bottle it all up, I would wrap it in faith and cork it with love and give it to a child's broken soul so that it can let go and live and take a swig or two when it feels, if it feels, broken again. Thank you.